Powered by Celebrity Media TV.
Lovers to the Love Dr. Pamela Smith Show. You are here with your host, Dr. Pamela Smith, and we're here on Celebrity Media TV. Now, you know me, I give you solutions, strategies to what? Finding love, getting love, keeping love, or just being happy in the love you're in. Because why? Most of you make the assumption that you know what love is about. And most of you assume that the other mate knows, right? Now, today's show, we are talking about cheating. Cheaters, cheating, cheats. We're talking about cheating. But guess what? I brought a special guest with me because I wanted this conversation to go into a great conversation about cheating. And I want to have someone with me so we can discuss what is a cheat, how to solve a cheater, what causes a cheater, what's the main reason a person cheats. We're going to talk about that this evening. Now, I want to introduce you to a special guest I brought. Her name is Brandi K. Russell. Now, Brandi's stage name is Princess Brandi. Brandi is a celebrity hairstylist, one of the top makeup artists in the industry here in Atlanta, Georgia. A top jeweler creator, and a certified spiritual practitioner. Now, presently doing acting. So I want to introduce you to my special guest, Brandi K. Russell.
Hey, Pam.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Thank you for being a part of
thank you for
the Love
having
Dr.
me.
Pamela Smith Show. We're talking a lot today about our guest today, cheating. So I want to talk to you about some things about cheating, but first let's talk about you. Okay, how should we address you?
Brandy's fine.
Brandi,
Ma'am, fine. Just as long as you don't call me sweetie, we fine.
Okay. Now I'm asking that question for a reason.
I know why.
Okay. So because you got a deep voice, but you're a beautiful young lady standing here. So let's be honest. Now, what did we?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, what you always want to do is, and I love what you did because at the end of the day, a lot of people don't understand when you're dealing with people who are in the trans community, it's very important to know their pronouns. Mm-hmm. So how to address people. And a lot of businesses in Atlanta don't know how to do that. That's why we always recommend diversity training, because when you understand diversity, then you understand where a person is. And like, for example, recently I interviewed for a job at a hotel, and they called my name, and I stood up and said I'm there, and he kept looking and kept calling my name. I said, well, here I am. So I was like, well, what do you want me to do? So the only thing I can do is show up and say this is who I am.
That's who you are.
That's who I am.
So what would you? So you're in the group of what? Transgender?
Well, I don't.
I'm missing it.
Let's put it under one umbrella.
Okay, let's do that.
Let's put it under the LGBTQ community. And so wherever anyone falls under that umbrella, we're all one and the same.
It's just one and the same.
Well, so I mean, you have your different sections, of course, but at the end of the day, we all fall under one umbrella. Some people don't label themselves. Some people don't like to label themselves.
because we're dealing with heterosexual and homosexual. Right. So that's the only way I can define when I'm talking to my listeners. You either heterosexual or homosexual. So I don't know. I don't know how to break that up.
But that's still a label. You're still labeling. So at the end of the day, we're spiritual beings.
We are spiritual beings.
Okay, so I don't look at you as a female. I look at you as a spiritual being. You're a spirit, and you're just in a vessel.
Yes,
that's how I look at you.
Yes, but still, the average person is either just seeing you one way or the other. You see what I mean? They don't know how to decipher.
Well, that's their problem. I don't have nothing to do with how
Okay.
another person perceives me or anyone else.
Okay,
I can only go work on what's in my mind and how I perceive the world through my eyes.
Okay, so what happens when you're out in the world, like you just said? So if someone is talking to you, then they're hearing, the voice. You know what I mean?
Well, a lot of times people will look or
Okay.
stare, and sometimes people will just ask, or
Okay.
a lot of times people tend to associate you by what they see, and how you carry yourself.
How you carry yourself.
And I think a lot of times on the inside looking out, it's almost like there's a part of you that doesn't even care what other people see or think or how they feel. It's all how you feel in your own being as you continue to move out in the world and express who you are.
Who you are, and that's a good thing, because what I do with my listeners is I give them solutions and strategies to issues and problems. And I wanted you here on the show to talk about the cheating, because we assume it only happens in the heterosexual community, but it happens in the homosexual community or your communities of genders that you're calling yourself.
Right.
And that everyone needs to understand it doesn't matter, because it's all, again, it's about love.
Right.
It's about individuality.
True.
And it's about who you are as a man or woman.
True.
And so I'm talking about cheating. Now, you know the definition of cheating. So cheating would be a person who behaves dishonestly to take advantage of someone or a situation.
Right.
So and a cheater is someone that has prior doing something.
Defies the odds.
Cheating is what they're doing right now.
True.
So this is what we're talking about, the cheating. But there's a difference. And the reason why I said there's a difference, there's single people who cheat, and there's committed people who cheat, which is being married. That's being in a relationship who cheat. So how do you decide who's a cheater and not a cheater if you're single or married? And so that's the whole difference that we need to discuss, okay? Because there is a difference. If you're single, how you're a cheater. And if you're married, then you're a cheater. If you're having affairs, if you're having another relationship. And this is something I really, really wanted to talk about. So I'm gonna talk about the main reason I feel there's an issue. Okay.
Right.
Now, I find that most people cheat because they want to be accepted, they want to be needed, or it's a desire. But in the end, it's a choice. You see, people cheat because they choose to cheat. You see what I mean? So they're choosing to cheat the way they are. And so that's what's happening right now. And I wanted to define that issue of why you're accepting, why you're needed, why you're desired. So, are you a cheater?
Come on out with it.
Okay, I'm just,
I'm saying.
Okay, are you in a relationship?
If I was,
Let's do that.
no, I'm not in a relationship.
Okay, so when you were in a relationship, did you find yourself to want to cheat? Let's say you were just, dating that person, or let's say it was a committed relationship in your mind as far as respecting each other, because there's a difference, and I'm going to explain what I'm meaning by that. Single people assume because they are in a relationship and you decide to be her girlfriend, boyfriend, or whatever they want to call themselves in a relationship, that if you go out and be with someone else, you cheated. So have you been in that situation where you cheated with somebody else in the midst of being in a relationship?
Well, I think a lot of times it's all about communication. Okay, so the difference between someone's single and someone's married is that piece of paper.
Okay.
So Judge Judy said, "Yo, come and step in front of her unless you got a piece of paper. It's in writing."
Right.
Okay, so single people don't have no piece of paper. So what you might consider being cheating, being married, and what I consider to be cheating is two different things, because I'm not bound to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm only bound through my word of mouth and my actions, but in reality, it's really not cheating.
Okay, so you saying so you just out there with everybody just being
Well,
a
no, I'm not
and
saying no. See, that's
and
how you want to define
okay,
it.
well,
We're not
see,
you,
but
I
that's
mean,
what you pretty much
but
saying
what's
that
wrong
you
with
out
being
there being
loose?
with John, Jacob,
But
Joe,
what's
Sally,
wrong with
Sue, and
that?
Jane. I
And
mean,
what's
that's
wrong
what
with that? That's
you know.
not cheating.
We
That's
go,
enjoying your
yeah,
life.
you
That's
know.
expressing
Well,
yourself. That's making a choice, as you said. Did you
well,
not say make a choice?
yes.
Okay, so
we
it's
will be back in a few minutes, and we have a commercial break. We will be right back. Welcome back, lovers. Okay, now we was in the middle of this cheating conversation, but we're gonna let that go. But I want to know. So, what do you think caused cheating?
Well, there's a lot of things, Pam, honestly, that cause cheating. I think a lot of times, growing up in society, people put labels on you as a child. A lot of times, you don't get love that you want to have from your parents. Sometimes some people do get love, some people don't get love. Some people grow up in an environment they don't really know what love is. And so we're always being defined by somebody else's eyes and somebody else's society. But the reality is it's something that you want on the inside. So what causes cheating, it depends on each individual person that will cause them to step outside a committed relationship or a friendship relationship, or either something that you just decided that you wanted within yourself.
Okay, so do you think there's that it's a difference in cheating if you have more opportunities to be with others? Meaning, most people feel that same-sex relationships or have do more of involvement, more of being out there, loose.
I
Just like we were
disagree.
just talking about.
At the end of the day, relationship is how you define a relationship.
I
Because
agree.
some people look at a piece of paper as like it's a piece of paper, but
Right.
I'm gonna go do what I want to do anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always said that a man is gonna do what a man wants to do anyway, and a woman is gonna do what a woman wants to do, irregardless of what anybody thinks.
Okay, so do you think we allow the cheating?
Who allows the cheating?
A man or a woman or that relationship allow that person to cheat.
Yes, they do.
Yes, you do.
They do.
Because
they do.
And I say that because you have a choice or a decision to stay in it or move on. So why is the person cheating on you? Or why is this person cheating? Why are you still there? A, and B, why do you stay? And I found there's different reasons people do that. And it's selfish reasons. That's reality.
True.
Okay? Selfish reason we do that. But I find that the cheater do it because of lack of self-control.
Or lack of self-esteem. Because a lot of times, if you don't really know who you are and you really have not grounded yourself in knowing who you are, a lot of times, some people will say cheating. I'd say it's a process that you're going to defining who you are as an individual, and you're seeking and searching. It just so happened that you happen to get married or fall into a relationship prior to you really taking the time to love yourself. Okay,
so now let's talk about that. Okay. Now let's talk about being married. Okay. Because there's a difference. We talked about it. There's single cheating. True. And there is being married cheating. Okay, now, of course, if you're married and you have an affair or a mistress or a relationship, you're cheating, right? So
Is
why?
it right though? I mean, but
no, but that's not even the
Okay,
point. The
okay.
point of it is why do you stay in the relationship if you want to have an affair? Now here's the issue. That's the whole. Here's an issue about that. Okay, so you have your married people that say, "Well, I'm happy with my wife, but I want my mistress. I want this other woman over here." So why do you think that happened? I don't know. I want you.
But if you hadn't found out who you are and reveal to yourself the things that you like and don't like, and then all of a sudden you get married and find out that the person that you actually married does not indulge in some of the things that you want to indulge in, or want to go places that you want to go, or do some of the things that you want to do, then are you gonna? You've made an investment. So
Well,
at the end of the day,
let's talk about that for a minute.
we're talking about it because
But that doesn't make any sense because if you
Why not?
Because if you were dating at the time in that relationship, you know when somebody
what's the
don't
average?
want to spend no
What's
time
the
with
average
you?
that people date each other? They fall in love and they get married. What's the average time?
2 years.
How about
But
2
now,
days?
but that's the difference.
Back in the 60s, yeah, but now we're in
But
2018.
they're different.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
People don't
Well,
take the time to get to know each other. You can get on the internet, meet somebody, and next thing you know, you hooked up. That's my boo. And next thing you know, you about to get married. But then you still don't know who you are.
Problem. So
you don't know who you married.
But
You don't know who
doing
you
that?
land
But
with.
you all, but see, the difficulty in homosexual relationships is that is most states there is the marriage is difficult, so you've got to go somewhere else because not all states allow the,
But you
marriage
deal
to
with
take
also
place.
different dynamics in the gay community compared to the heterosexual community. You dealing with a lot. I mean, we could go on for a week on this particular topic because at the end of the day,
No, we ain't going no. We talking about it right now.
But I'm saying when you grow up in church,
you grow
up in church, you have the religious side, then you have the family side, then you have people that living a life that they don't even, that their parents don't even know that they're even gay, so they're hiding, and so it's much more difficult to sit and have a conversation about each individual, but it's very difficult and it's hard, and that's why a lot of people struggle with that word cheating, or even a relationship, or even the word love.
Okay, but this is why I'm talking to you about it, because what I found is that homosexual relationships are out just being with this person, that person, and this person, but then they want to be upset because they feel like that person is cheating on them when they're not. In their mind, it's a committed relationship, but they don't understand it's not a committed relationship.
Well, that's why I say communication is the key, because if you don't have a communication and a sit down and an understanding with the person that you're dealing with, you're already defunct from the very beginning.
But the communication is not the reason a person cheats. What
Why
causes
is it not? Because
it's not just that. It's a lack
if you
of
cannot
interest,
communicate,
it's a lack of sexual desire.
If you cannot communicate with the person that you're
because
with,
they're unhappy. It's a lack of self-control.
If you cannot communicate with the person that you're with from the very beginning,
I could go on and on.
Okay, but at the end of the day, it's the communication that starts it and ends it. If you don't know who you're dealing with, and you really don't know who you are within yourself, but you're generalizing when you say this person jumps from bed to bed to bed.
But that's what you're doing.
Okay, but that's what you said. But that doesn't necessarily make it true.
That's what's happening most often in
But if you don't have the crew, that's not true.
Well,
that's what you were told. That's not true. Okay. All right.
So now when we talk about what causes it, it's because I still in the end say it's a choice, and you are allowing it to happen. So, but the problem that is going on with the same sex relationships is that you all can't handle it, and you're taking people out. What's all that about?
When you say taking people out and
harming,
not handling it,
harming.
Well, I mean, okay. All right, if I have a conversation with someone I'm in a relationship with, and they tell me one thing, and then they turn around and do another, then and you putting my life at risk, am I supposed to take that lightly, or is I supposed to take that seriously?
That's life.
But we're still talking about the individual person. Are you supposed to take it lightly, or are you supposed to take it seriously?
But that's life. That's the whole point about
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
That's the whole
when
thing
you
about
figure out who
and
you
being
are,
in a relationship with someone, you're trying to understand that person and yourself. But you all take it so seriously, y'all. It doesn't make sense. And then you all want to say we don't understand.
Okay, but
why
you're
we don't
trying
understand?
to differentiate you all. It's not
Because,
about you all.
okay,
we're one and the same.
Well, we're one and the same.
We're one and the same.
But let's be real.
Okay, let's be real.
I'm with a man.
Okay, and I'm with a man too.
Okay, well then.
So what you saying?
But you transgender. So,
okay,
well,
a man's gonna do what a man wants to do, correct?
But
correct.
But you're still in the same relationship.
Okay, but
I'm in a heterosexual relationship.
But what's the difference?
What you mean? What's the difference?
I'm dealing with a man that I can't do is have a baby.
And it's a difference. And you dealing with a man, but you a man at the same time.
Well, you can have a baby, I can't. That's the only difference. Okay. What's the difference?
So
you can get married in some states, and I can't get married in some states.
Okay, you're right. You're right. I would agree. I can't. You can get. You can still get married. You know,
in some states. Depends on who's president.
You're right. Well, okay. So let's talk about that.
Okay.
Would you get married as a man or as a transgender? What is it considered when a person of a homosexual position? Okay. What is considered that when you all try to get married? Because
you keep saying you are.
Oh,
don't you? That's just like you being white and then you look at me as I'm black. You saying you are. Okay, well it's not you all. Okay, don't look at it as you all. Just talk about relationships and how we react as individuals.
I asked you what you want me to address you at.
But I said Brandi. I can only speak from Brandi's eyes. I'm part of the community, but I don't speak for the entire community. I only speak for me.
Okay, but Brandi, but you still a he, she, and
no.
Okay, now which one?
No.
Yeah, I know.
No, it's Brandi.
Okay, but Brandi, they got to know where you lie.
No, they don't have to know anything. We're talking one-on-one about.
No, we're talking with them too.
We're talking with them, but they're listening.
They want to know what's going on.
Okay, well they don't have to know what's going on.
So yes, let's talk about who you are. So to me, and considering everyone else, you would be a she.
Okay.
Correct?
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. So now we got you there. We're now considering that you are a she and everything, right? So now that you are in that position, what is it that your decision
as far as marriage is concerned?
Correct.
I mean, if I meet the right person that I feel that wants me to spend the rest of my life with them and vice versa, I have no problems with getting married. Okay. But I have to know beyond a shadow of doubt that I know that this person cares about me, and I have to feel that I care about them equally.
Okay. So have you changed anything as being a transgender now?
Have I done anything?
Yes. Have you had any surgery? Have you updated your body? Have you? Ask the
question. You don't have to go drop your voice and all that. Just ask the simple question.
Sure. Okay,
it's a question, right?
You were looking at me like.
No, I'm looking at you because I'm listening to you ask the question. No, I have not.
Okay, so.
Hola natural.
Okay.
Take it.
I just thought I would ask.
No. I would like to have some things done in the near future. Like the breast milk augmentation.
Yes,
of course.
So, did you ever perform?
Yes, I used to perform here in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. My stage name was Princess Brandi. Okay. And I've won several titles. I've won National Beauty Queen, and
that's awesome.
And that's how, to be honest with you, the creativity that comes out of the gay community has really opened up worlds in my life. I mean, opened up doors in my life. Yeah. As a makeup artist, as a hairdresser, as a jewelry designer, it took me to another level where I was able to go out and find work, to become a celebrity, work on movies, to work on in theater, and to do some of the things that I'm currently doing at the present time. Okay. So, I mean, the community within itself is starting to be understood, whereas before it was all underground. You didn't know about a lot of things that
That's
were going
true.
on in the gay community because a lot of families had ostracized their children.
That's true.
And so a lot of the gay people in the community had children. Okay, there was a show that came on TV not too long ago called Pose. That the show was very real. And it was like, I have gay children that I mentor. Someone mentored me. And so, you know, when you look out in a society when gay people were not accepted, you were part of that family. And that family nurtured you, and that mother and that father guided you in the right direction to keep you from making those mistakes.
So then you know, in the midst of that, when you become the who you are now as a transgender, is it difficult having the relationships that are sustainable, or is it not? Is it difficult?
It is very difficult because you're still dealing with people or men who don't always know exactly who they are, and they're still dealing with the issues of society because society has not fully accepted transgender women. They're not accepted gay men, especially black gay men. So it's an ongoing process.
So let's talk about that for a minute. So do you think that they're not accepting the transgender because they feel that you are, i.e., a man?
I just think that it's just a part of, like, if you go to Europe today, it's totally different. It's the laws of the United States of America.
Yeah, but you know you've now decided to switch yourself into a position, though.
That people have placed on things that they cannot control. The same issues that, African Americans went through for being black, it's the same issues that we're going through as being in the gay community or transgender.
Okay, we'll be right back. We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back with Love Dr. Pamela Smith.
Hey, it's your girl Nene Leaks with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. You're watching Celebrity Media TV.
What up, it's Breezy, man. Y'all tuned in right here on Celebrity Media TV. Y'all know what it is.
Causes cheating? Why do we cheat? So we're on the level of trying to understand what causes our mates to cheat. What makes a man or a woman to desire someone else in the midst of having a relationship with you presently. And it's a big major issue that is going on in all relationships. And I talk about this all the time because cheating is caused from a lack of self-control, or the person chooses to cheat. But the other thing I really didn't mention about is why we allow it. Why do we allow a person that we know no longer either have desire for us, no longer treat us the way we should be treated, no longer want to be with us. Why do we stay in these kind of relationships?
I think a lot of it has to do with self love, Pam. I think when you truly beyond a shadow of a doubt love yourself, you know what you will put up with and what you don't. When you're still seeking and searching to find who you really are in life, you're going through the process of discovering who you are. And
Right.
so a lot of times when a person finds out that the person that they're with cheats, it also opens up the door and say, well, if you can do it, I can do it too. So
Right.
we can be on the same
Now,
page.
now
and still
we
live
all
in the
bouncing
same,
all
right,
over the wall,
right.
doing the same thing,
And
passing
that's what they do.
diseases, dealing with people's feelings, don't care, and that brings about self hate, anger.
Well, when you think about also investment too, Pam, I mean, you've been with somebody 5 or 6 years. You've invested your time, your money, your energy. You've created a beautiful home together, and all of a
Okay.
sudden you find out they're cheating on you. Okay, are you gonna get up and just walk out, and then next you know you go through the argument of who gets what when, and then let's say that you're the breadwinner. And you told me I didn't have to work. So now you're going to get up and walk out on me and I don't have no job. And where am I going to go?
Right.
And so a lot of times people start like, okay,
but you can't put that in somebody else's hand.
Is it better to leave them or stay with them? But
What's
I mean,
that's
you're
selfish.
still making a choice.
But that's selfish.
But that's life.
Yeah, it is life.
That's
but
like,
that's being selfish.
Okay,
so if you just said that a person feels like, why'd you leave me? Why you put me in this situation? That's why you have to make sure that you don't put yourself in that situation, that you keep doing what's necessary to make self happy.
That's not
Another
one
person
common
can't make you
denominator.
Another person can't make you
There's
happy.
not one common denominator that life doesn't offer you a choice every step of the way.
No, we're not saying life gives you a choice. What we're saying is you have an opportunity to change the position in what you're in, even when you're married, even when you're dating someone. You have to know and understand what type of relationship you're dealing with.
And that's why I said from the very beginning, it starts with the communication. Because at the end of the day, when you know going into a situation what the possibilities are, that's why I'm a firm believer in, if I'm stopping my life to support you, to help you go on with your career, but you're not supporting me, that's already a misfit from the very beginning. So and then I'm a really advocate for, I think that I've watched relationships go over where the woman will stop her life to help her husband become that doctor, that lawyer, and elevate him up. But then when he gets to that level, what is he doing to stop to help her elevate her life up? So that way it's even. But what does that
have to do with cheating?
Well, because at the end of the day, it's value. If you value me and I value my life, but if you don't value me, but then you feel like you can dip out on you.
Your love change for that person.
That's
just because I help you get in college and just because I help you grow your business don't mean you stop loving me the way I should be loved or desire me the way I should be desired or giving me the time. If a man
feels like his mate is not on his level, a lot of times he feels like he can just dip out and go find somebody on his level.
What do you mean? He had that decision before you married me.
Well, so you asked the question, so the only thing I can come back with the answer is different strokes for different,
and that's where we come right back to.
Right.
It comes
it's
right
a choice.
Back to it's a choice.
But then you try to protect your life, and you try to protect your choices as much as possible.
Right.
But any given time, it could change just like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
True. That is true.
You cheating on me because I didn't.
I'm cheating on you because I don't want to be with you no more. That's what it is.
But instead of you opening your mouth and saying you don't want to be with me, what?
We lie.
We lie to each other.
I just talked about that last week. Is liars. You know, we lie again for that, just to do what we're doing. But the reason most people claim they cheat is, when I talked about it earlier, is that they're not being desired or wanted or accepted. So that's the reason they feel like they go out and cheat. But in the end, if you look back at the reason a person mainly cheats, it's because they're selfish. They're thinking more about what they want at that moment, even though they lacking a desire from their mate, or they're lacking to be accepted by that person. It still comes back to your choosing to do that, because you have a choice to end the marriage or no longer be with that person, or go date someone else.
So if we could change that word cheat to another word that doesn't necessarily say cheat, what would you change it to?
What you mean? Change it to another
Okay, so
word?
you
What
make
you
it.
mean?
All right, so we're making choices. We love each other, but if I dip out, is it necessarily cheating when when the person's not being fulfilled? If you could change it, okay, this is the universe that unlimited thoughts.
Are you asking me a
So
question?
yeah, I'm asking
Okay,
you a
what's
question.
what
If you
question
could
is-
change the one word cheating to something else, what would you change it
What
to?
are we changing the word for cheating for?
Well, because it's not always
that's what the
necessarily
person do.
cheating.
What are they doing then?
Doing their thing,
Yep.
being who they are,
Now,
living
you
their
know,
life,
no.
exploring
Okay,
different
so
possibilities.
if you living your life and doing your thing, why are you being selfish about and holding another person from enjoying their life
Who said
and
they
meeting
holding them?
someone?
Who said that they were holding
Because
them?
you asked the question of changing that word. They still in that person's life. They don't want to let them go. That's what cheating is about. They don't want to let the other person go so they can continue to be with the other person. And that way they can do what they want to do and be selfish.
I
Am
used to
correct?
ask a lot of people.
So-
I used to ask a lot of people, and I've noticed that a lot of times when people say, "I give you permission to date other people," then it's funny that when I give you permission, the cheating stops because the cheating is almost like I'm getting away with something.
So now you
But when
on to
feel
swingers, swinging.
Right, okay, well,
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
well, maybe we could take maybe we should take the word
Well,
cheating and transfer it to swingers.
Well, they
most couples today
it's
are
a big
swinging.
difference. I was just making a
I
statement. Of
understand.
swinging. It's similar to swinging, but a swinger, of course.
But look,
the person and
when you
agree.
push a swing, don't it come back? And what is one person who cheats? Don't it come back?
Yeah.
So they are swingers then.
You know, Brandi had to come up with something that was just off the wall.
Well, it's called
really.
it's called new thought.
New thought,
And
yeah,
as you
right.
if you change your thoughts in your mind, you change your mind, you change your life. That's
Yeah,
just life.
okay,
you know?
okay. Well,
Because when I look at relationships back in the day, and I look at relationships today,
okay.
I look at a lot of relationships, and most relationships today are swingers, but they don't
Well,
want
that's
they don't want to
And-
label them as
and-
swingers,
okay,
but
so
they
let's talk
want
about
to say
that.
they're cheating.
So
They're
let's-
not really
so
cheating; they're
let's-
just swinging.
Let's talk about
Look,
that.
you push a swing out and come right on
not
back.
swinging. What it is, you're single. And right now I have a book that I'm writing about singles. Okay. There's no such thing as cheating if you're a single individual and that person has yet to, I either put a ring on your finger or you decided to shack up or you're married. If you're single and dating someone, and even if you made a mutual respect to say we're together and we're going to try to take the relationship to the next level, you still have the window open. And you have to know that when you get involved with someone that had not made a decision to take that relationship to the next level, you're single. You're single. And you have to learn how to have self-control for a person that is not giving you what you think you should have or treat you the way you should want to be treated. That's why you need to understand the difference of being being committed, which is married, or living with someone to the level of commitment, or you got engaged. That's what I call being committed. And if you have an affair or mistress, yes, you're cheating. But as a single person, you're not cheating. If I decide to go out with another guy and I'm dating someone, and I can go date another person because this person hadn't made a decision to make me or even said that I want to marry you or we're going to get married. And well, then we can call it being a hoe.
Well, that's
but you know,
that's why I think it's so important that individuals work on themselves with their education, with their life, because I really feel that if you have your own, another person has their own, and together you have something together. But if something should happen and you divide, it's not that one is leaving something with nothing. You're not leaving
you still talk, but what are you talking about? A single person, or are you talking about
whether you
a person
single
living with somebody,
whether you
shacking?
single or married or shacking? My advice has always been get your own, because a lot of times I find a lot of people are dependent on the so-called breadwinner to say, Give me some money. Give me some money.
Okay,
but
that's
at the end
life
of the day, when
insurance. Get a life insurance policy on the
that's
person.
what I'm saying.
That if you're in a relationship,
But when you have your own,
you've given all your time.
own, and then your husband has his own, if you decide to leave or he decide to kick you to the curb, it's not like he kicking you to the homeless curb. You still got something to bounce back off
true,
on. That's what I like to see, only because I see so many people give up their lives because they find they think this person loves them, but this person is the breadwinner. Okay, this person might all of a sudden have an issue, gain 20 pounds, and then he's not desired. That person's not desired.
Focus on yourself and get self
And that's
together
exactly what I said.
and know what makes you happy and not what makes someone else happy. Because in the end, you can see when someone is not into you and treating you the way you should be treated when you see that this relationship is not going anywhere.
But the only way you would not know that you were being treated the way you want to be treated, you have to know yourself.
That's right.
And a lot of people have not taken the time to know who they
That's
really
why
are.
I do what I do. That's why the Love Doctor is here to help men, women, single, dating, homosexual, heterosexual, shacking, married. It doesn't matter. That's what I do. We're going to help them understand how to figure out what you like. And then how to recognize not to be cheated on, how to recognize when to not be. You can't stop it because that's an individual situation. Someone's got to choose to not lie to you or love you the way you should be loved. You have no control over what a person's going to do. You have just control over yourself. So now and I'm gonna when we come later on, I'm gonna talk about some of the questions some of my followers and listeners have sent questions to me, and we're gonna talk about about that. But what would you think about going into your relationships going further? Okay. As you are you looking to go into that marriage road, or are you content with being single? Because some people are, and I'm asking you that because it doesn't mean everybody wants to get married. Or do you feel that it's too much looseness going on out here because you have social media, you have the technology that allow people to have multiple relationships?
Well, for me, I look at life as wherever you are in this moment, be that in this moment. Okay. And if it happens, if the right person shows up, I'll deal with that in that moment. I think a lot of times people have a tendency to say, I want to be married by this age, I want to have a baby by this age, and I want to be retired by this age. Okay. I feel that a lot of times it's be in the moment, be who you are, express who you are in that moment. And if that person happens to come along in your life and it changes your feelings on how you feel, not only about them but yourself, then I say move with that feeling. Okay. So if not, then continue to be who you are in that moment, and not try to plan the future as to say I'm supposed to be married by this time, I'm supposed to have a baby by this time, or in a relationship. Right. So ask your question, because you talked to me earlier before the show got started, and you asked me a question about your relationship. So let's be honest now. Let's talk about the question. Why you keep saying let's be honest? Because you don't want to. Because you're not answering. Because you're not answering. I may not answer the way you want me to answer, but that's not to say I'm not being honest. Okay, so let's talk about the relationship that you were in, and that you asked me a question about your issues that you have. And in that, did you find that person was into you and they were cheating with someone else? Now we because your question about that, Bob. Let's be honest now. I'm telling on you right now. You keep telling. I'm telling on you right now because you asked me during the break. I'm gonna tell on you. We're gonna come back and Brandi gonna ask you a question that she asked about her relationship about somebody cheating on her. Really? So we'll be right back. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back.
welcome back. We are here on the Love Dr. Pamela Smith Show talking about cheating. And I am here with my special guest, Brandi K. Russell. Princess Brandi. Welcome. So we've had an exciting conversation talking about cheating, how to solve it, how to recognize it, how to understand it. But now we're going to talk about solving cheating and what it takes to solve relationships and make them better and how to be better. But before we left, I was a question that Brandi has for me. So before I go into giving solutions to love.
Okay, my question to Pam was, when do you know when you've gone too far or you've jumped the gun before you actually have intercourse with somebody? And so I was concerned because a lot of times Pam used to always say, wait, take your time, get to know the person first, and then move forward after that.
Well, let's talk about that, because you felt like because you put yourself in that situation that person was cheating with someone else, that's the reason why you felt bad, because
when
you could have gave more time,
and
then you wouldn't have dealt with them wanting.
I think what happened was, at the end of the day, your feelings go out before you, and then when you catch up with your feelings, then you realize, hold up, I'm pushing the cart before the horse.
Okay.
And so when you said slow it down, and the advice that you gave me was take your time, get to know the person.
Yes.
And when you said that to me, it made sense, because the car had went on down the hill.
Yeah.
And the horse was still up on
and
top.
you upset because now they want somebody else doing. Well, but the point of it is, it most people consider it cheating, because you think because you've given a part of yourself to someone that now they owe you something, or they're supposed to be your mate, and therefore you don't see the fact that that person already was dealing with someone else, or may have known someone else before you, because you didn't give enough time to find out if that person was going to be your mate. And so those are some of the reasons I talk about just work on self and enjoy a relationship. Don't rush into looking for something out of that relationship, looking for that person to make you happy, because you need to make yourself happy. If they're not treating you the way they're treating you, you're supposed to what? Move on. But people don't know how to move on, because if you wait...
What do you necessarily have to move on? Or sometimes can you just express yourself in that moment to that person and tell that person what you're looking for and how you're feeling at that particular moment in time?
Well, no, because see, here's the whole thing about how the problem that's going on. And I'm different from a lot of others that talk about relationships. See, you don't always have to tell a person everything that you want and desire in that relationship. All you need to do is first see what the person is like. See how they treat you, how they communicate to you, how you're spending time with you. Do they call you back when you call? Do they text you back when you text? You have to pay attention to little things versus, oh, that person didn't take me out, or why he didn't call me yesterday. Because everybody's life is busy. Everybody's working on something. Everybody's keeping in their world, working on their lives. So when you're dating and loving, even if you're married, it doesn't mean everything is about the now. It's got to be this way. And that's what love is all about. When you're seeking someone that makes you happy, you have to truly be happy with self. And sometimes it takes 2 years or 3 or 4 or 5 for someone to say, okay, I'm ready to get married. Because maybe they weren't ready. And we talked about this before. Most people are not ready. And then those who are ready don't know how to move forward in loving someone right. But if you're in a relationship and you want to cheat, end the relationship. Why can't you just end the relationship and move on? Or be upfront and say, look, I'm in a relationship with someone else. I would like to get to know you. Okay, then you have a decision to make. Do I want to go further with this or not? And that question is, are you married or are you not?
Well, half the time,
that's it.
Half
Are you
the time
married or are you
tell
not?
you the truth.
Well, then that's hey. Well, my best mentor, Miss Mary Honeybee Morrison, she said, I'm gonna be quiet. I ain't gonna tell you what she said.
Well, thank God there's Google. Because if push comes to shove, you can say, what's your first and last name? Oh, okay. Let me Google, let me see if you come up. If you come up, maybe in prison.
Yes. Well, I did have some of my listeners, there's a couple of questions.
Okay.
And, I want to answer
All
a
right.
couple of questions now. One of them was, what to tell my mistress. Now, I first had to respond back. What do you mean? What do you tell your mistress? Now, this listener said to me that he was more concerned about what the mistress thought about him taking the wife out for the anniversary and not being able to talk to the mistress. What? Wait a minute. Hold on. So my answer to the listener is, look, if you are married and involved with someone that you quote unquote say is your mistress, and you more concerned about the mistress, you need to end your marriage. Because you don't have respect, not only for your wife, you don't have respect for yourself because you're being selfish, because you're more concerned about what you're going to do, not the unhappiness that you may cause the person that you're married to and taking up her time and her opportunities to be with someone else. You're being selfish and you're not being respectful of that relationship. End it and move on.
Well, I mean, the question was, what do you tell the mistress? I would tell the mistress,
nothing.
stay your place. I mean, if you know, I mean,
okay.
Well, I mean, tell her.
Tell the mistress.
Or tell her nothing.
You didn't tell her nothing.
Well, that's the mistake that I think that people will make with bringing the mistress into their relationship and letting them know what's going on in their personal lives. So keep the mistress in her situation, in her corner, and deal with your.
He doesn't. See, he doesn't even owe the mistress an answer. First off,
no. I'm saying
she knows exactly what her place is.
I'm saying if you don't tell the mistress what's going on in your marriage, then there's nothing. Then he would have to. This should not be discussed at all.
No, he already told the mistress that he married. What are you talking about?
No. I'm saying what the day-to-day that he was taking her out.
He don't. The point of it is he don't need to tell the mistress nothing.
That's what I said.
But the point, he's more concerned about what the mistress thinks. So if you're more concerned about what the mistress thinks, you need to end the marriage.
No, the marriage is longevity now.
Oh, you probably got some life insurance.
Look, I don't get the wife about 5 cars, and her bank account got $100,000. You think I want to love it? No. No.
Yeah, that's
it's a choice.
I'm gonna stop fooling with you. Now I had another listener ask a question. Okay. Said, should I forgive a non-physical cheater?
Explain that.
Okay, so non-physical mean we're in a relationship, okay. We're enjoying each other, we go out, we have fun, but we haven't had sex. We haven't had no sexual activity, but yet you're with me all the time. We go out, we have fun, but you told me you got a mate.
And so you're asking, should that be?
I found out you're cheating now. So, being that we haven't been together intimately, the question is, should I forgive them? What do you mean? You're single. It's a simple question, people. It's not that difficult. You're either married or you're single. It is simple as that. This is, this conversation about cheating is so. I love it. We're gonna talk. I got a part 2 coming on because
but you
I got
also have to realize too, Pam, that some people have blockages.
What blockage?
Blockages of cheating or trying to figure out what to do in their life or in any given situation.
No, we're going to see, there you go. You trying to fix a person's...
No.
Yes, you are. You trying to fix a person's feeling, and that's not what's going on.
But at the end of the day, it's all about feelings. It's all about feelings.
Yeah,
where
but you
are
have
in
to
that moment and the
understand
person
your place
that you're
and
dealing
position
with.
you're in. You're either single or you're married. If you're single, you have to understand that people that you date will possibly hurt you or harm you in the midst of you getting to know them and love them. It is never going to be perfect. It is never going to be right. And this is why we have hard times and difficulties in relationship, because we have expectations. And if we stop having expectations, we can have better relationships. We're supposed to get to know a person, enjoy a person, have fun with a person. that's what relationships about. You're supposed to stay happy. You're supposed to be happy with self and happy with your mate. If you're not happy in relationships that you enter into, you have to move on. And cheating will stop. Ladies and gentlemen, listen.
You think it'll stop?
It'll stop if you understand what you're in. See, we don't understand what we're in. We don't understand the type of relationships that we deal with. We don't understand who we want to love. We're still seeking. We're still learning. We're still understanding. But once you figure out what makes you happy, what makes you want to love someone and enjoy someone, cheating doesn't happen, because that mate gives you what you're seeking. And it's all about, I talk about, is being patient for real love. If you just be patient for a person, because dating and being with people is just about understanding and learning how to be loved. See, we go into relationships because we're trying to be loving to ourselves and to someone else and to mature. And if you just do that and take your time, you'll meet the right mate that's going to treat you right and not cheat on you. But see, if you understand that when you're dating and just loving someone, it's not cheating. You learn to respect yourself and know who you are. And I'm gonna give you this story. Then I'm gonna let it go because this one was a funny one. Now, I have an issue with the gone-tos, because if me as a heterosexual woman dealing with men, they always tell you what they gonna do
Today.
Yeah, I'm on my way. On my way don't come, And when I was dating this guy that did that to me, he called and said he was on his way, and he never came. I didn't even ask why he didn't come, because what I did was I ended it. See, we have to learn to stop wasting time. You have to learn to move on and end relationship, because you can't repair somebody who doesn't respect you in the first place. See, that's the whole problem. You have to pay attention to how someone is treating you, how you want to be treated, and then you won't end up with a cheater. You see? And that's what we've been talking about on this hour show. It's an awesome show, because we've been talking about cheating, and the whole key in your solution to this is that if a person is not treating you the way you should be treated in the relationship, because if you can't handle just dating and loving in a relationship, you have to end it. If you're married and you're in a relationship with someone that continuously, because I don't throw all relationships out the window just because my mate may cheat, because we don't know the reasons, and that's what I do when I'm giving strategies and solutions. I gotta go into what's really going on. So if you're married and you're dealing with a cheater who cheats all the time, you need to move on. You need to end that relationship, because it's not going to stop. If they're doing it then, they're going to keep doing it.
What about the people that were cheated with, left their wife, and then they end up marrying the cheater? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Okay, let's say you were married, right? And then you started cheating. You divorced your husband to marry the cheater.
Okay.
So you it's almost like it's an endless cycle, because if you left your husband to cheat, come with me, and you were cheating with me.
What
makes me think that you're not going to cheat with somebody else?
You're saying that some people will go with the person that they cheated with and end up being husband and wife. And you're asking me, would that relationship continue on? It could, because sometimes we marry people we shouldn't have married in the first place. So, you've been here with Love Dr. Pamela Smith. We have been talking about cheating. I hope that the information that you receive this time on today's show will give you information to take you to the next level, to help you understand about love. And I'd like to thank my special guest, Brandi K. Russell, for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And being a part of Celebrity Media TV. We're here and enjoying a nice talk. I thank you for being here with me.
Talking about swingers.
You've been here with Dr. Pamela Smith. Thank you for being a part of Celebrity Media TV. Thank you.
Powered by Celebrity Media TV.